Le va a hablar Camilo Montañez, empresario de 3Go Video.
This is for English and this is for Spanish.
Yeah.
English, okay. We have one in English that Angelique sing a
And
great.
Nancy.
In Nancy, oh great, welcome. Welcome to everybody. If we are in the reality, I told you that please move because we are sit the people lose the attention and we need that you enjoy this part of the session. So you can enjoy. I hope that you enjoy this session. We are talking about the different things because the people have different issues in their minds about VR, AR, and MAR, and also artificial intelligence. And my purpose, my idea today is, or my goal today is, try to we have a reference of about these different kind of technologies. So let's start. Next, please.
Okay.
So who we are? We are a 3Go Video. We are a Colombian startup, and we use immersive technologies in a strategic way. What does mean? That we use our expertise and the talent of our people to put the correct products in with our customers in order to review different kind of issues or solve different kind of problems. We have artificial intelligence with chatbot. We also have VR virtual reality simulations and 360 videos, and augmented reality with filters through Instagram and Messenger, and also different kind of application. Next, please. Here we can see different kind of experience about in 3Go Video. We are talking about different things. For example, one VR code that is the virtuality community in Colombia that is also support the XR code, and also we bring different kind of tools around the globe that is important and bring us pretty good things. And in the picture, you can see one child with one cardboard devices, and that's really interesting because we was one of our first products that we built for in virtual reality. We built with some company here that called Subsidio, and that is really interesting because the child in this moment or in that moment the child was see the water park that is amazing. One is one of the biggest park here in our country, and it's amazing to see how the child see the world. Next. Next, please. Okay, let's go cross with reality. The tour is crossing realities, so I want to try to cross that reality. And what happened? We opened that door. Next, we know different realities. The first one that we are talking about is virtual reality, and the first thing that I would like to know is when you are immersive in virtual reality, you think one thing is, where do you want to go? Because you have to experience different kind of environments and different kind of things inside that world or inside that experience. Next. So in virtual reality, we can define two different kind of things. The first one is the real, and the other one is the simulate. And what happened with this? This is important because give us the differentiation or the difference between the simulate virtual reality and the real virtual reality. The simulate is all of the things that we create from the multimedia with the computer or from the computer. For example, we can use different kind of frameworks or programs as Unity, Unreal, React, different kind of program. And in the reality, we have to create the reality, and we have to take picture, videos, or record different kind of experience from the reality. And this means that we need to the the buildings or the things really exists in order to live the experience. And the most important is that the virtual reality is like a powerful machine of empathy and bring us a really important tools to show to others what happened or what is our world. Next. So what do we need to live to live an experience in virtual reality? In the past, I mean the past from since 3 or 4 years ago, we use these kind of things. Right now, we only need one of these things. In the past, we need the VR glasses. That is one of the part of the virtual reality. The smartphone that support us the content and the content that we need to create. Right now, only with the VR glass, we live the experience. Next. Also, the experience could be more uh, difficult or more experienceable. Like, for example, with more things, you can move inside that reality. You can talk, share, you can have interaction with different kind of objects in that world. And for this, you can use a more powerful equipment. Next. Here you can see different kind of gadgets or different kind of head-mounted displays that the virtual reality is more common to use. And also, I put this picture here because we can see that the evolution in the industry. For example, we start with Google Cardboard, that is the immersive point here in the imagine, but also see the something VR that was popular since 4 years ago, but right now is not useful. And the winner in this HMD race, for example, is the Oculus Rift, the Oculus and HTC that have the most useful head-mounted displays or glasses to use for everyone. Next. And he started some really important thing, that is the how much could be cost a mobile phone in your country. In overall, the cost of this kind of phones is around $200. That is the cost. Is really important because this bring us to the opportunity to expand the business. What that mean? That mean that this open the opportunities to everyone can access to these kind of technologies. Next.
Yeah.
Okay, so for what is the reason that I ask you to the mobile prices phone? Is because what happened when do you find, for example, in a store, and you can find a mobile phone, and also you can find this kind of glasses. Sorry, someone have the microphone unmute, and I can hear you very well. Okay, thank you. So what is the future? The future is that we can find in different kind of stores. For example, when we can go to a mall, we can find this kind of assets or this kind of headsets in the store, and next to the mobile phone, and your selection could be what gonna be to buy. That means that is maybe we can buy a mobile phone, or we can buy smart glasses. So this is really good opportunity to make more massively these kind of technologies. Next. Right now, the head mounted display in virtuality is more open, is more free. For example, the Oculus Quest is no PC, no wireless, and no limits. That is really important because in the past we need to buy a PC that is ready for VR, but it's so expensive, and you have to put in your cost not only the cost of the devices, but only have to put the cost of the computer. So this reduction in the cost bring other opportunity to the more people enjoy this kind of technologies. And right now we have this meeting by our PC, but happen if we can put our virtual glasses and put and will through this world this more amazing and more experienceable experience. I think so. Next. This is different kind of devices. Next. In here you can see the Oculus, and this is the Oculus Rift. This is need a PC to support in this kind of glasses. Next. And this is the other one that is HTC. Both is the most both are competitive, but is the most useful these devices for these technologies. Next. And here we can find a really good example of how these kind of technologies are useful in this moment in the industry. For example, in healthcare, the people, as in our past presentation and speaker talks, is really useful in different kind of therapies, for example, meditation, but also to practice for when you are a medical doctor, you need to practice, because if you select the surgery environment, you need to practice. But when you are going to be to practice, because no all the environment is prepared for you have the correct training for do this. Also, the education, this is one of the aspects that is more useful, I think so, for in inaugural, because it's a really good environmental to explore and exploit these kind of technologies. Also in entertainment, in the cinemas and different kind of game. For example, in this moment, we don't can move and we are in our home. We can play a lot of different kind of sports in virtual reality. This kind, for me, this kind is like, I don't know if in the auditory, so one of you see the movie that is Be a Ready Player One, that is also is a book, but the also have in the scene is a movie, and this movie put in context this kind of use of the technology, and also in marketing that is more useful for the companies, and in architecture where we can see the use of real and simulate, because is the project done ready, you can use simulate project to show how was your next home, or you can, for example, if you are millionaire people, you can rent your house, and you can see you would like to see how this is this home, you can see an wall around this is very interesting. Next. Oh, this is really cool experience. Could you put play, Alexandra, please? Okay, it's in a mute, but here he's a boy, and he boy would like to be a scoop driver, and would like to know in some opportunity to know would like to know the sea. And in the class of today, the people will discover an interesting class, because the teacher bring the opportunity to their students to go to the sea. I don't know what happened. Maybe this is still the recording. Okay, I think that don't run. But the idea of this video is a Google exploration project, and in this project, the student is going to the classroom, and the teacher show them different kind of things. In this for this opportunity, the teacher show the CS environmental and how works the different kind of ecologies and different kind of animals that they can find in the sea. And this is really good opportunity for different kind of countries, especially countries that don't have a lot of income. And why this is opportunity? Because this close the doors on the brick with different kind of population. For example, in my country, Colombia, some people don't know the sea, but when they see this kind of experience, they experimented the opportunity to the as they go there, and it's really interesting how the childs reacting to this kind of expertise. Next, please. Sorry, you have a question. Angelique, please tell, where is your question?
Yeah, thank you. I was wondering, so you mentioned that you're working at a startup, but what is exactly, what is your startup focused on?
Okay, we focus in the production of experience with augmented reality, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. The idea of our startup is to solve the problems in the different companies in a strategical way. We in this moment, for example, we have different kind of experience in different kind of markets. For example, we create a showroom in virtual reality with Mitsubishi Motors, that is automotive sector company, and in that experience, the people can join in the simulation and test different kind of automobiles or cars, and test for example, the color of the car, try the different kind of setups modes, and also test the different models. This kind of experience.
Okay, thank you. So if I understand it correctly, a company can come to you and ask anything in VR or AR or MR, and you can build.
Yeah. In overall, there is the idea.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, can I still make a question? Do you?
Sure.
All right,
What?
thanks. I think this is quite interesting, right? But I wonder which type of resources or tools can we access in order to teach languages, to animate, I don't know, stations or landscapes or environments in general for students to interact there. I'm really interested into such type of training or facilities.
Okay, I got it. But what do you mean? For example, what do you like to teach? Languages or what kind of?
Yes, for learning and teaching purposes of languages in general.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think, in my opinion, I think that the different platform could be work. The depends the activity that you propose. Yes, that what does mean. For example, as you see, we are here in this moment, and you can do a kind of practice in different kind of language, make different kind of question in different kind of moments. This could be a good tool. But also, for example, in other way that I know, the augmented reality can use it for teaching. For example, I know one case when a teacher used Pokemon Go to teach their students different kind of words and sentences in order to play or while they are playing Pokemon with different kind of partners.
Okay, quite interesting. Yes, like gamification in
Yeah, it's a
the
kind of
atmosphere.
gamification inside the tool. I think that I give you two important recommendations. The first one is you can select different kind of platform of technology. That means, for example, the example that I give is or bring here, it was about Google. That is the Google Expedition, but this is a project that is much focused is more focused in, for example, in note the different environmental for grade students, and the objective of this is teach this kind of different kind of environmentals that they don't have close to them. No, this is a good opportunity, but depend the technology that you use and the methodology that you use, you can combine this in that different ways.
Well, like taking them or students to take tours with Google Earth, for example,
Sure,
being in the
sure,
in real time, but
sure.
not exactly in real time as a virtual world, but in different landscapes around the world with
Sure.
photographs captured by the satellite. Yes, that's what you mean.
Actually, yeah, yes. Actually, in it's in real time. It's good. It's good to say in real time because when the teacher are show you, for example, the location of the one of the different kind of ecosystem in the sea, the teacher can see when the students are looking for. And there is really interesting because the teacher can see, for example, look, this turtle was born around X years ago, and blah blah blah. And this is really important too because the teacher can follow the students' tips that they are working on.
Interesting, and their interests too. All right, thank
And
you.
here in this slide, welcome to your question. In this slide, you can find more interesting like conclusions when you use this kind of tools. For example, the first one is you increase the interest in to learn from your students, but also in the industry you can you increase the interest of the cost of your customers. Really, this is really good thing. Other thing that is learning is fun, and I think that this is important, and it is important in the aspect of the consumption, because when the consumers enjoy the things that are consuming, really this is really interesting. And in the third, we have the increase of the concentration, because nowadays we don't have any other multimedia or any other kind of technology that don't have interruption, because we for example, we can teach throughout the YouTube lessons or Spotify podcasts, but always you have commercials. But in virtual reality, you are the person who decide what kind of content put there. That is really important. And finally, this is a connection. Connect the classroom, connect the markets, connect the neighborhood, the cities, and finally the world. That is really important aspect. Next. There is one of the conclusions that we put next to create different kind of activities, and especially in education and also in onboarding and training, is why we continue writing the knowledge if we can experience in the natural way. That is really important to know, because as the fire can burn you, also when you put the experience, you can learn more about this. Next. This is kind of commercial uses. For example, McDonald's use this kind of technology and this kind of development to use the happy cardboard that they have in the Happy Meal, and could and enjoy it and make more enjoyable this kind of eat for the child, and is also increasing interesting for them. Next. Next, that is the Happy Google that McDonald's create. Next, you can, because we don't have audio. And Netflix is other that really use a good experience in this kind of technology. For example, they have our application, and the application is look like when you are going to cinema, and you can see different kind of series and movies. Next. Now we are talking about augmented reality that is different to virtual reality, and if we can see this imagine here, we can have in account different kind of things. One of them is that we have three kind of different objects. The first one is the magazine that we have in the end of the magazine. The second one is the hardware that we use. In this case, is a tablet. And the third one is the content that is created from the augmented reality. So the mix of these kind of objectives, we have a result augmented reality experience. Next. In this way, the meaning of the definition that we can put for augmented reality, that is the technology to allow us to have more information about the world throughout the superposition of the object. And different kind of icons that I present to you here, that is Messenger, Snapchat, and Instagram. You can test different kind of filters, and you can put different kind of objects inside of your face and try to different kind of experience in augmented reality. This is one of the option of this technology. Next. We have different kind of types of reality of augmented reality. We can talk about web augmented reality, application augmented reality, and the difference between is the purpose that you have. For example, when you talk about the customer on the industry, you have to choose what is the best option for your customer, because the pen of this is the development that you are prepared for them. Next. he's a good example of one of the frames that I like it, that is able, for example, that is a web AR, and you can use this kind of setting for create a new application and new filters. Next. Here we have a good example of Messenger. For example, we are close to Christmas, and Messenger use the different kind of stickers of emojis that you usually send by Messenger. But the idea here is that the messenger or the sticker could be used in the real world, and you can put as the really, you see the pink in the reality. Next. This is Spark ER, that is another framework that is useful for build filters, and this is from Facebook, and is really useful and easy to use. It's a good tool to develop the first stage steps in augmented reality. Next, please. And we see virtual reality, augmented reality, and here with HoloLens, that is one is the bigger exponent of mixed reality. Is like a kind of combination of the last two, because we use a headsets, but this headset let us to see the world, the real world that we are part, no? And also mix the virtuality with the different kind of objects in that world. If you see the image, you can see the glasses and a kind of an idea of how they work. Next. This is a different kind of use of this technology. Next. And here, in order to end in our presentation, I would like to make this question that is really cool, is what is the difference between these two images? What do you think the difference? Different from the color, texture, facial expressions. What is the difference that you see?
The color? Ah, no, the other is more bigger, I think so.
Yes.
No?
Oh, they're different. No. A part of this different that we can see in the first time.
That's it.
Mm.
What do you think?
The comfort, the portability.
Comfort. Sorry, Andres. What do you see?
The red one is from the 90s.
Oh, this is a good point. Okay, please put next. And you have the reason. One of them is from 19s, and the other is for nowadays. And what is the difference? Is because you remember that when we start our tool, we asked about the industrialization and the massification of this kind of technologies. In the 19s, we can imagine to send a multimedia image through our phones. Actually, we use our phones and start the mobility with our mobile phones and make some calls, but we never imagine that we have things like today, for example, that we make tools for these kind of platforms, or that we send a virtual image or something like that. The difference of to this age or the answer is the time, and the time is really important because the first one was from Nintendo, that is the Virtual Boy, and the second one that is in your right is for Oculus, that is the Facebook. And the difference between these is really the time and how the technology improved during all of these times. Next. Thank you, Andres. Good point. So the answer here is as we talk here, is the evolution of the smartphone, the massification that we have, and the capacity that they have this kind of the devices nowadays, and the capacity that is coming is to coming for the new age. We can make it next. Okay, and And all of these aspects have implication in different kind of technologies that we use it in our life. One of these aspects important is the evolution of the network, and actually in our countries we have 4G or 3G, but the idea is that all of technology that we have right now is supported by 5G, that is more powerful, more faster, and more useful technology for communication. Where is the point here in 5G is the latency, that is the time that take to a message, for example, is the time that take one message to the other. And if we reduce this kind of time, we also have hard faster operation and hard more activities to do. Why this is important? For imagine that when I talk about the medical examples, imagine that you are make a local surgery and you have 4G, maybe your latency is slow than 5G, and you can make correctly uses of the devices because you are remotely operate your or make the surgery to your patients or the person that in that part or in that clinic. Also, it's all this happen in the cloud. So in the cloud we have a different kind of things and different kind of uses, and that have a directly relationship with our homes on our life. For example, uh, how how many of you have in this moment a smartwatch with you? This is one of the IoT parts, because everything we are more connecting with different kind of technologies, and actually the augmented reality and virtual reality come together and come be part of our lives too. And this is a good important aspect that join us on Internet of Things, and also bring to new, or no new, is to more bigger technology, that is the artificial intelligence, that support different kind of process that the human being usually to do it, but nowadays are more occupied by artificial intelligence models and machine learning things. For example, in this kind of technology, we find a different kind of setups with robotics in the industry, how the models in machine learning take the operation of the companies and move on and take more control of different kind that the humans usually to do, because the final objective of artificial intelligence is recreate our activities and do better and more faster. And finally, in order to end our speech, is all of these combined technologies put us in one important thing, that is, this is a personal point, that is the cognitive assistance.
I have a question, Camilo.
Sure.
What motivates you to do this, all these projects you make it in Colombia and this?
Okay, my motivation, I think, is more than motivation, is like how to become a real to dream. This is a dream from my childhood. I don't know if you see some program on TV that is called Saint Seiya, and I ever imagined that maybe you can be a saint, and you can dress with that kind of arms and use the powerful. But right now the virtual reality do this kind of thing for you, and you can put the headsets, and it's how do you become real your dream. So this is the idea of you can make real your dreams. It's a kind of, and why in our country is because I am Colombian, and I have we have a word in our country, in our company, that is from Colombia to the world, and this is the idea to shine with you what are we working on.
Perfect. Danny, come to here, please. Wait, you can press the button to F2
Okay.
to Camilo. Wow.
Todos aplauden.
Thanks everyone.